mountains. Finally got a room set up that I can do some yoga classes in my new house. Has taken a while, been here for coming on a year now, so yeah, it's taken a little while to get to the point where I can now do yoga classes again for you, but we're here. And today's class is a little yin sequence where we're looking at mobilising the spine. So make sure you've got a couple of blocks nearby, but we're just going to come into seating on the floor to start with, and we're going to start off in easy pose. So this is just a standard cross-legged pose, whichever way feels most comfortable for you, and you're just going to sit here, and we're just going to sit for a couple of minutes in this pose, just breathing, noticing the breathing, noticing the body. So you're just going to notice how the body feels, how the legs feel, how the hips feel, how does the breathing feel. And so the easy pose is actually one of the basic meditation poses in yoga. It's called the easy pose because those of us that live in the Western areas can do it without too much trouble and can sit in it for quite a while, so we are able to meditate in this pose, unlike the traditional Padmasana or lotus pose, which can be quite stressful on our ankles. So this one just allows us to bring our focus inwards. We're just using this moment to just bring our focus to us, to our bodies. Just breathing, you can close your eyes and just noticing the body. And we're going to do some movements from here because we're mobilising the spine in this yin class using very easy movements, using some blocks to make some poses a little more accessible. Just breathing into the pose and just allowing the body to relax into the floor, breathing into any areas where you can feel that you're currently holding tension. Settling yourself into your yoga routine. This is your time. You're getting the mind in that mindset of this is for you. You want to notice the body. You want to pay attention to the body. Each movement that we do, you want to be paying attention to how that feels within the body. Okay, so with the next inhale, we're going to raise the arms overhead. And then on the exhale, you're going to bring the right hand down. Now, if this is not accessible, you can use a block, and you can have your arm on the block wherever is comfortable. If you are comfortable, you're going to bring the arm down to the ground, and the other arm's just going to come up overhead. So we're going to have this nice side stretch, opening up this side of the body. So you're opening up. You want to go over to the side of the leg that's in front. So you're opening up the side of the leg that's nearest to your body in the cross-legged position. And you just want your head to stay facing central. You don't want to put any pressure through the neck, because you are holding this pose. It's a yin class. We're allowing gravity to do her work. So again, because you're holding it, you don't want to be putting too much tension through this arm. So if you need to use a block, feel free to use a block just to raise you up, get you in that position where you've got a really nice stretch, but that's holdable. And again, this time you're going to breathe into that side of the body. So as you're inhaling, imagine the breath moving into that side and just massaging those muscles that are feeling a little tight, muscles that are being stretched, giving them that extra oxygen boost. And just breathing into the pose. We're not going to hold these poses for too long. This is a gentle yin class. arms back up to centre. And then this time on the exhale, you're going to twist over the same side. So the opposite hand is going to come to that leg's knee, and the same hand is going to come behind the body. You want to keep the spine nice and straight. Just a gentle twist here. You don't want to be really pulling the head round. You're using the body to move. You're using the hand against the knee just to give you a gentle extra push, and the hand behind is just helping you to move the top of the body, but you're not pulling with any part. It's a gentle twist. And just breathing into it. Noticing if there's any areas that feel a little tighter, breathing into those areas as you allow the spine, the muscles of the spine to just be wrung out, helping to release the tension and helping to stretch the spine and remobilise the spine. Inhale, you're going to come back to centre, bringing the arms overhead, and then bringing them down in front of you. And now you're going to swap the cross of the legs. So the leg that was in front now comes closer to the body, and the other leg now comes in front. So this will feel a little bit strange. So we are going to take just a minute here just to get used to the way this feels, because you will automatically have gone into your most comfortable position first. We're going to balance the body. We're also going to move the spine on the opposite side. So we want to change that cross just so that the spine is worked evenly on both sides, and so that your hips get the same work as well, because crossing the legs, one leg is on the other, and so the hips don't work the same. So we're just going to take this moment just to settle into the pose on this side of the body and just get used to this cross of the legs before we start working through the sequence on the opposite side of the body. And if you need to reposition your legs just to get it comfortable, feel free to do that. Then on the next inhale, we're going to bring the arms up again. And then on the exhale, you're going to go over to the opposite side. So it's the side of the leg in front of the arm comes down. You inhale, the other arm overhead. And then you're breathing into that side again, breathing into these muscles here that are getting a nice stretch, and just noticing where in the body is feeling the release and the stretch. And noticing if this bottom arm is coming to the same sort of place, or if it's higher. And still using the block if you used the block on the other side. And relaxing into the stretch. And you might even feel as you hold it longer that you can move deeper into the pose, making sure that opposite hip is staying grounded into the ground, it's not coming up. It wants to stay connected. On the next inhale coming up, and then again exhale, turning into that twist. And breathing into it. Make sure your shoulders aren't coming up. Allow your shoulders to settle down. And just turning through the spine. Again, wringing the spinal muscles out. Getting rid of all the tension that you might be holding. Enjoying the twist, making sure you're not pulling the neck too far. The neck wants to stay nice and loose. The shoulders want to stay down. Gentle press of the hand against the knee, hand into the floor. That's all you need to move you into the twist. Inhaling hands center, exhaling, releasing the hands down. Now we're going to go into a gentle back bend. So you're going to take a yoga block. You might want to take two. So play around with your blocks, see what works best. You might want to have two blocks that way, a single block that way, a single block high up like that, or a single block on this setting. I personally am going to go for the medium setting because I want a nice gentle back release. So this is for a back bend. So the block is going to sit on your coccyx, so on your sacrum, sorry. So the nice solid bit in the base of the spine where the spine and the hips meet. So that's where you're going to have the block. So set the block up, and you're going to bring yourself onto the block and down onto the floor. So you can come onto the floor and you can lift your hips and move the block underneath if that's easier. In fact, most people will do it that way. So you've just got this nice slight back bend, but you're allowing the body to sink into the block to allow gravity to make the back bend as deep as your body will allow it to be. So as I said, have the block on the setting that feels best for you. Doesn't have to be on this one, it can be lower. You can use two blocks and have it wider if this is uncomfortable. You can also have it turned up if you're wanting more of a stretch, so you want it to be slightly more of a workout for the spine rather than it being a really gentle stretch. You can have the block on its highest setting. But you're just going to come into this and you're just going to breathe. So it is a bridge pose. Your knees want to be in line with the hips. You don't want them falling out to the sides. You don't want them falling in. They want to be in line with the hips. The feet want to be in line with the hips. You want this nice straight line from the knees to the shoulders, and your hands just want to be pressing into the ground. The block wants to be nice and stable. You don't want to feel like you're about to fall over, so just make sure that the positioning of the block allows you to relax fully into the block. And just breathing into it. Allowing gravity to pull the body down and give you that nice back bend in the lower back. So we're going to hold this for a few minutes. It's nice and gentle. It just arches that lower spine in the opposite direction to how most of us have it held during the day. Just realised you might not actually be able to see me very well, so I'm just going to scoot back a little bit. So again, you can see I've got the block on this side setting. And just breathing here. And now you're going to push the feet into the ground and lift the hips up and remove the block, and then bring the hips back down to the ground. And then we're going to sit up and we're going to do a forward fold. So if you do have really tight hamstrings, you might want to sit on the block that you've just taken out from under your spine. Otherwise we're pointing the feet in this one. It's Yin Yoga, so we're not going to be active through the legs. We're not pushing through the heels of the feet. We're not activating the muscles of the legs. So nice and gentle. And also you're going to have a bend in those knees. So this is actually called caterpillar pose. And we're just now folding the back in the spine in the opposite direction. So inhaling the arms up and exhale, rolling forwards. And again, you're just going to allow gravity to pull the spine towards the ground. Breathing into it. You want this to feel like there is a bit of a stretch in the hamstrings, but you want to be able to hold this for a few minutes. You don't want it to be too intense. If you feel that it's getting too much, you can bend your knees a little bit more, release some of the tension in the hamstrings. And just breathe in. Feeling the abdomen against the thighs, getting a nice little abdominal massage as well in the process. And you really want to allow your head to drop. And just relaxing those muscles. Breathing into the pause, enjoying the stretch. You might find as you hold the pause that you can actually stretch your legs out a bit further. Feel free to do that. Works both ways. If you feel you're getting too tight, bend the knees a little more. If you feel you're getting looser, straighten the legs a little more. What you don't want is to be actually working through the legs or actively pulling the body down. You're just relaxing. The spine is rounded in this pose. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, bringing them down, and just come down into a final relaxation pause. just take this moment to just notice how the body feels different potentially to how you started. Just noticing any changes in the body, noticing your breathing. You're just allowing your breathing to return to normal. You're not trying to focus it any which way, and just breathing here and relaxing into the floor. Keeping the mind on the breath. You can imagine the breath coming in through the nose and moving through the body. If you've got tense areas, you can really see the breath working in those areas, move into those areas to oxygenate the muscles and allow them to release. Until the body is nice and relaxed, and just press gently against the floor. When you're ready, you're going to bring your awareness back to your fingers and your toes. Stay in this pose for as long as you need to. You don't have to come out of it right away. If you can stay in it for longer, please feel free to. When you are ready to come out, you're going to bring your knees into your chest. Slowly roll over into a fetal position for a couple of breaths. And coming up to seated, keeping those eyes closed for a moment, rubbing the palms together to create some heat in the hands, and then placing the palms over the eyes. Taking one last check over the body. Now you're back in the pose that you started in, just seeing how it feels different, how it feels the same, what's changed. And then bringing the hands to heart center and bowing to your practice. Namaste.